It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Cause that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold said so.
And so, goodbye. And good night. Bang!
Settle! Because I'm better than you, and you know it. Yes, sir.
To Off the Mats with Alex Lowe's and Josh Silverberg.
All right, everybody, welcome this afternoon. You are joining us and listening to us on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Sorry for the late delay that we had, but technical difficulties always, Alex knows this about me.
Yeah.
Technology, not my forte. That's why he handles all the tech stuff, and I'm just a speaker. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Off the Mat here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Joining us every Saturday at 12 o'clock. Today, 12:03, so that's okay. We're a little over time. No big deal. I'm your host, Josh Silverberg. Of course, with me always, one of my good buddies, my tag team partner. He's down south in Florida. I'm in New York, of course. Mr. Alex Lowe's, what's happening, man?
Nothing much. So much to do, so much topics to go through with so little time, and I'm excited to get into talking about SummerSlam and the New Japan Summer Struggle.
It's a lot of stuff that's taking place, and it's kind of crazy. Also, just really quick, of course, we have to talk about it, Alex. If you are just joining us on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, there's so many different platforms and so many different ways you can listen to us, watch us, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope. Doesn't matter. We are on those platforms. If you want to also watch us, please join us on our free app. It is free. If you have an iPhone, go to the Apple Store. If you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store. Just type in WWSRN. That's WWSRN. Not just here at Off the Mat, but we have the Wise Guys, the BS Sports Show, Below the Mic, the Ryan Hickey Show, the Jets, the New York Jets Show, Cage and MMA, Down to the Wire. I don't know if I'm forgetting. I think I said all the shows pretty much. And we also have plenty more coming to you in the future for sure. You can have your smart speakers, have them play, ask them to play the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You can also go to worldwidesportsradio.com and check us out there. And Alex, what is the Twitter? What is the Facebook? What's the phone number the fans can reach?
The Twitter is the same as Facebook. It's Off the Mat, WWSRN. And then the phone line is 727-888-4295.
Awesome. So, what we might have to do, Alex, because I know we have a jam-packed show. Of course, might have to go a little bit over time, and we might have to save stuff for the second half of the show. Listen, these things happen in the radio business, man. These things happen.
Definitely. They definitely do.
So we're just going to have to go with it, and so on and so forth. All right, let's jump right into it, man. Let's do it. Let's talk about SummerSlam. Let's discuss it, everything like that. Also, first off, that's Alex's favorite shirt. 100%.
Yeah, the Jon Moxley shirt I have on.
So, as you can see, Alex, you know this about me. I always change up the background.
You got Iron Sheik, and then you got Andre behind you.
The Giant, and then this is a cool one. I don't know if you knew I had this one from WrestleMania 3.
Oh, that's definitely a cool one.
Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So basically what it is it's supposed to be like kind of like the highlights are supposed to come off like they were back in when did this happen? I think it was 87. I want to say Mania 3 was, if I can remember correctly, but I went with the Legends theme today, so why not? Everybody always likes to ask me what shirts are you going with, so I went with this one today. But let's get right into it. I don't even know.
Yeah, SummerSlam was a very, very interesting pay-per-view. I liked the setup at the Thunderdome, how they put everything together with that. And then my favorite matches were Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, the street fight between Seth Rollins and Dominic Mysterio with Rey Mysterio, the no DQ loser leaves WWE match, and then the Raw Tag Team Championship matchup, which was pretty good.
Absolutely. So for me, what I really liked, I'm just looking at notes quick a little bit. I went the Alex route today. I went the notes route, so I wrote things down. So you should be proud of me for doing that. Pretty much, it was interesting because going into the show, I was kind of like, ho hum, another WWE show. This is going to be boring. And it
was actually pretty good. It was above average.
Yes, it was. And, I wasn't a huge fan of the main event. I thought it would be better, but I did like how they closed it. And we're going to have a snippet in the second half of the show later because really quick, if you did not see SmackDown last night, boy.
What
was the slogan for SummerSlam this year? You never saw it coming. Literally, you never saw this coming, and it involves Roman Reigns and a certain manager getting together. And I want to talk about that main event really quick, Alex, if we don't mind, because I want to dive right into it because people were thinking, okay, first off, Roman Reigns' new T-shirt is so cool. Did you what I forget what it says?
I forget what it says too. I saw it on Instagram. I just can't really get it off the top of my head.
I gotta find it because it was so cool that it has to be talked about. It's like the new one. Let's see, what is it? I have to find it. It was awesome. But anyway, I thought the show was really good. I thought the main event was definitely something that I thought would be better, but I like the aspect of Roman now joining the way he was done, in the sense of, okay, this works now, because now you're starting to see, and we're gonna talk about it later, Roman is now officially a heel.
Yeah, and that's something that I believe I know. It's just something 4 years in the making since he came in from NXT and everything.
Quick, it's wreck everyone and leave.
Okay, wreck everyone and leave.
Everyone and leave.
Like, since he came out from NXT with the Shield and everything, originally when Seth Rollins turned heel, I thought it was going to be Roman Reigns. So now that it's happening now, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all ties together.
Yeah, for sure. And again, we're going to talk about it later, but I thoroughly enjoy. I'm kind of curious now if he's in charge of the Retribution group. I don't know if he's in charge of that group. I'm not entirely sure. But now, of course, it's kind of funny because now tomorrow is another pay-per-view with Payback. So it's like, oh, hey, we're going to go to another one, which I didn't understand that whole thing, but whatever. But I liked where they're going with the Roman Reigns stuff. It's something I never, ever thought Vince would ever do. But I guess if Vince is going to do it, now's the perfect time for him to do it, he probably feels, because there's no fans in the arena.
Yeah, and it's good to have something exciting, new, and fresh to include.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Alex, you would agree with this. If there were fans in the stands, I don't know if he would have pulled the trigger, but because there's no fans, now people could just divulge it on social media and stuff, and Vince doesn't have to hear anybody. And not that Vince ever listens to anybody anyway, because he never does. But I mean, but to be able to divulge the whole thing with no fans, it makes it easier for him to pull this trigger. And I think there were two guys that fans for years wanted to, see heel. And that was, of course, Roman Reigns and John Cena. We're finally getting that. But we'll discuss more about Roman Reigns later. I enjoyed the Drew McIntyre-Randy Orton match. The finish was interesting because I think what it did was Drew won, but you saw on Raw when Randy punting him in the head, I think it was 3 times. Now Drew's out, which now Randy's facing Keith Lee tomorrow at Payback, which is a fascinating... Can I just say one thing really quick? I already absolutely hate what they're doing to Keith Lee's character.
Yeah, they shortened his name from Keith Lee just to Keith. Like,
no, but it's not even that.
why?
The music is terrible. The music literally, Alex. You ever play the video game SmackDown vs. Raw or WWE 2K?
Oh, it's something like that. The generic music.
It's like the character music.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? And then to have the ring gear that he has, his ring gear was fine. And this is exactly what they did with Shinsuke Nakamura. They gave him an entire bodysuit. Why are you doing this? Why add an element to it? Even with Ricochet. Ricochet, when he comes out on pay-per-views, looks like a Power Ranger. Which sometimes is cool, sometimes it's stupid. But it doesn't make any sense. Why is it just a pay-per-view? That's the part that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why they're doing what they do with what they're doing with Keith Lee. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It wasn't broke. When his T-shirt came out at NXT, it sold out within minutes. Why are you messing with something that is working?
Yeah, that's something I really don't understand with WWE. When they bring somebody up from NXT, why can't they just stick with what they have and not change it?
Why, Alex, why is FTR not here anymore? Why are they not here anymore? Because what they did with the Revival in NXT, they completely left it on the main roster. That's the whole point of this. And that's why I'm scared when guys like Adam Cole and these guys get called up. They're going to mess around with this nonsense when they already have success.
Exactly.
I mean, what else with the pay-per-view? Because we only have already a few more minutes before we go to NXT recap of TakeOver 30. My thought process with the whole thing, Alex, was I thought the pay-per-view was pretty good. I thought it was successful. I like what you said. I love the Thunderdome idea. I really do. The only thing I can't stand
is I don't like the screens of people. I don't like that idea.
But that's the thing. I don't know if you've watched the NBA and how they've done it. I don't mind it. So the NBA basically takes the people's heads, and what they do is they put them on these chairs, these hologram chairs. But everybody's background is the same. With this, you're getting a green background, a blue background, a yellow background, a red background. So far, we've seen a Fire Velveteen Dream background. We've seen a Pikachu picture.
We've seen a Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit picture. We just saw a Kenny Omega one.
Yeah.
We saw a Kenny Omega one. We saw an Elmo one with two eyes as one, which you knew was going to happen. But if they're going to do it, just have the same background for everybody. You don't have
Definitely.
to make
Agree.
backgrounds. Don't make it that way. The crowd noise needs to be pumped up more, 100%. But look, Asuka beating Sasha Banks, which Alex, I forget. I think you said, which one did you say she was going to beat? Was it Banks or was it Bailey?
I said it was going to be Banks.
Banks, and I said Bailey. So you were right on that. So kudos to you. Like I said, I thought the pay-per-view was fine. I thought it was good. It wasn't great. I agree with you. I thought Dominic Mysterio really showed a good performance.
Yeah, he really did. He took it. He took it to a new level and something we never seen him do before. And 100%. And it's really interesting to see him grow and adapt more in the ring. And we're getting to see more and more of that every week.
Yeah, and it actually, just in the next minute, we're going to talk about TakeOver 30, and another guy who showed a really good performance, I thought, was Pat McAfee. But like I said, I didn't think SummerSlam was. I thought it was good. I think you would agree, right? I would say probably 6.5.
Maybe 7.
Maybe
7.2.
7 out of 10. I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe 6.5. I'll go 6.5, 6. I'll give it a 6. I'll say a solid 6 out of 10. There were some things that I just were like, I thought Garza and Andrade maybe should have won the belts. I just feel like Selena's group has been losing too much. But I mean, look, I thought it was interesting. We'll see going forward with it, but Payback's already tomorrow, so we're gonna recap Payback next week, and we're gonna be previewing All Out. So it's like a flip of the switch. It's like boom, instantly. All right, Alex, let's get right into it. Let's do TakeOver 30 before we go to break in a few minutes. Excellent pay-per-view, I thought. I think it was
it definitely was.
Better than In Your House. I thought it was way better.
Yeah, it was better. The effects, the lighting, everything, just how they had the stage set up was on point.
It worked out perfectly. And so basically what I did was I had my friend over. We watched it. What we did was we watched Dynamite first from usually, you know me, I like to watch both at the same time. But he doesn't like to do that. You know, because the thing is, it's he doesn't like to do that because he likes to have paying attention to a takeover. It's not just a regular NXT episode, which is understandable. I get it. I'm just teasing him. It's understandable. So we watched Dynamite from 6 to 8, and we started TakeOver an hour late, which was totally fine. It didn't really affect anything or do anything. We just continued it. But I really like the,
I would say my favorite matches from TakeOver was the North American Championship ladder match, Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher, and then we had Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee, which was insane. The stuff Pat McAfee did was just unreal.
Alex, let's get into that really quick, and let's talk about that, because I think that's something a lot of people on social media were discussing, because going into it, people were concerned about how can McAfee keep up with Adam Cole. Look, remember we did our – I don't know why I'm moving my hands all over the place. I have no idea what's going on. I just feel like I'm fired up today, man. I'm revved up. I just, it's so much to talk about. But, going into the match, remember we did our top 5 wrestlers in the world. I had Adam Cole at...
I think you had him at 2 or 1, maybe. 5? Yeah.
No. I had Ospreay at 2, Omega at 3, Okada was 1 for me. I think I had Styles at 4, Cole at 5. That's what I think it was. But I had Adam Cole as top 5 wrestler in the world. So that leads me to believe that I can trust Adam Cole with doing or working with anybody in the world. That's what my thing is. And, I was discussing with my friend that was over, and he basically said, okay, I feel like they're giving McAfee too much offense. And I'm like, well, look, it's storytelling. What do you want him to do? If Cole dominates the whole match, it's going to be boring, because then what's the point of having the match then? The point of having the match, have storytelling and have this and that. I mean, look, are you going to tell me that Dominic Mysterio had too much offense on Seth Rollins? That's just something that, I thought I heard something. That's just something that really, when you look at it, it needs to be done that way. And I thought McAfee did a great job.
Yeah, he did an amazing job. The stuff he did, the sunset flip off the turnbuckle onto everybody was insane. Just the amount of next level stuff and how he performed was great.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought, when I look back, when I look back, I mean, look, that was not the best match of the night. I thought the best match of the night was the ladder match. It was interesting because there were times when I really wanted Bronson Reed to win, and I'm not frustrated that Reed didn't win. I mean, Damian Priest winning is something new, and it seems like they're going to go with the rivalry after we're going to discuss NXT the next half, but it seems like they're going with the Bronson Reed,
Damian Priest route.
They're going with the Damian Priest, the Timothy Thatcher route. Is what it seems like. Because remember,
okay. Oh yeah, because Thatcher came back in backstage somewhere.
He came backstage. So that seems to be the route that they're going, which is cool. I'm fine with that. I actually remember I said I thought Thatcher should have been in the ladder match anyway, but Thatcher put on a pretty good match with. He put on a pretty good match with Balor. Not great. It was pretty good. I give it a solid B. The women's match was okay.
Yeah.
Some of it got out of it. Some of it did. I love you. Listen, to me, I think the top 3 women in the world for me is 1 is Tessa Blanchard. I think 2 is Charlotte. I would say 3 is Io Shirai. those are
Definitely.
my top three. Those are my top three that I have in the world right now. If you want to put Asuka in that group, if you want to put Thunder Rosa in that group, if you want to put Bayley in that group, you certainly can. But those are my top three. Shirai, Blanchard, and Charlotte, not in that order. And I thought Dakota Kai showed a good match. I don't think Raquel Gonzalez had to get involved. I think one-on-one would have been just fine. But it is what it is. Like I said.
And then we had the the NXT Championship match with Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross, which was a very physical, hard-hitting, brutal matchup.
Physical, lost the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the great thing about that match to me is how Kross was able to maintain great focus on Keith Lee's arm and fingers, doing big damage in the matchup. And then we saw in the match that there was a lot of back and forth moves thrown between Keith Lee and Kross. And the match had a few contact points here and there. And that's why I liked this main event, because it just kept me glued to my TV the whole time.
Yes, it did. So I liked it. I don't know if it was because of Kross's shoulder. That I think there could have been points where it could have been better.
Yeah, there could have been some type of some points in the matchup could have been better.
Yeah. Did you feel, Alex, the finish was abrupt?
I feel like the finish was kind of a bit off.
Like, it felt very abrupt. Like, it was very random.
It was just out of nowhere.
Thing off the second it was his finishing move, but he did it off the second rope and he just pinned him and it was over. But I'm guessing maybe because of the shoulder. And I absolutely feel for Karrion Kross. I feel bad for him because this happened couldn't have been a worse time for this to happen to him. My only fear too is, and Alex, I want to get your thoughts on this. Remember when Drew McIntyre got hurt against Andrade, lost the championship?
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And then Drew didn't even come back to NXT. He got called up to the main roster. Do you get nervous that this could happen to Kross, or do you think Kross is still just going to go back to NXT?
I think Kross will go back to NXT, but I feel like he's the healing process and the time that he's going to need off, based on a shoulder injury, it's probably going to be 5 to 6 months at least.
I hope it's less than that. I hope so. I hope it's less.
It's less. I hope it's like 3 to 4.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. Look, wrestlers always come back quicker than they should sometimes, but we'll see. Like I said, I thought the match ended very abruptly. I was kind of like, I don't know why. Why did it end like that? That was kind of weird to me. But listen, it ended the way it did. And we're gonna talk about NXT the next half because we have a lot to digest, especially. And also, don't forget NXT is on Tuesday this week, not Wednesday, because of the NHL playoffs. So it seems like the NBA playoffs affect AEW, the NHL playoffs affect NXT. So that's what happens. But Alex, I thought TakeOver 30 was really good. I give it an 8. I thought it was really to me, the solid matches. I thought the North American Championship match was good. As long as Dream didn't win, I was fine. I was even almost at the point where Gargano I was fine with not winning it. Would have been fine. Again, I thought Bronson Reed had a great showing. I really also wanted to see Cameron Grimes win. I really did.
Yeah, that would have been very interesting if he won.
That would have been awesome if he won. But that's okay. Damian Priest won. I thought it was Priest's best showing since NXT. That was kind of like the Priest of when he was Punishment Martinez in ROH. Because he's kind of, and I've told you this many times, Alex, I think he's had a lot of tough situations where I feel like he hasn't, I don't know, I feel like he hasn't really fit into NXT as much as I thought he would. It's kind of like how EC3 was, where there was just, I was so excited for EC3 to come to NXT. And then I was at TakeOver Brooklyn when he fought Velveteen Dream, and I was there and I watched the match with my buddy, and I said to my friend after the match, I said, I said that was not a great match. I said it just doesn't seem like he's fitting into NXT as well as he could have, and I was kind of feeling that way for Damian Priest, but clearly they have higher expectations for him over EC3. I'm going to give him the North American Championship match. Now, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, Timothy Thatcher is the next guy, but it's interesting where they're going to go from here with some of these guys, with Bronson Reed, with Cameron Grimes. Clearly, you see the path of Johnny Gargano now. We're going to preview it next when we come back. But what are your final thoughts before we go to break, Alex, about TakeOver 30? Did you enjoy it thoroughly? Did you think it was okay? Did you?
I enjoyed it very thoroughly. I thought a lot of the matches were very, very good. They had a lot of twists and turns to their matches with the amount of matches that were on the card. And to me, I would say I would give this NXT TakeOver around an 8 or 9 out of 10. So somewhere around there.
Was there anything you didn't like about it?
The one thing I didn't like about it was how Dakota Kai had her assistant come in and get involved in the matchup between Io Shirai. I just think that Dakota Kai could have pulled it off on her own against Io Shirai, excuse me.
Okay, listen, that's totally fair. All right, Alex, I think it's time for a break. All right, when we come back, there's still a lot more to talk about. We got to recap New Japan Summer Struggle from this morning. If you haven't watched it yet, we're gonna let you know when we're going to recap it. If you want to turn off the show, then because you don't want to be spoiled. But both Alex and I have seen it, because Alex and I are nuts, and we get up early in the morning to watch New Japan, so that's what we do. We're gonna recap NXT. We're gonna recap Dynamite, and there's so much more. It's a jam-packed show. We're gonna do our This Week in Wrestling History. And then we're going to do our fishing moves. We're doing all that, Alex, in about a half an hour or so. So we're going to have to try to fit it in as best as we can, but we're going to do it. Again, this is Off the Mat right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Everybody's got a price. Rest in peace.
Welcome back to Off the Mat with Alex Lowe's and Josh Silverberg.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Off the Mat, and we are going to start off with This Week in Wrestling History, which is a very interesting one. We have WWE's SummerSlam 94, and this was at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. The attendance was 23,000, and the first match was Bam Bam Bigelow and Irwin R. Shyster.
Irwin R. Shyster, that is Bray Wyatt's father, if nobody knows.
And they defeated the team of Fatu and Samu, and the duration of the match was 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Then the second match was Alundra Blaze, who was the WWF Women's Champion at the time, and she defeated Bull Nakano. Then number 3 was Razor Ramon, who defeated Diesel for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. Then the next match was Tatanka, who defeated Lex Luger. Then the match after that was Jeff Jarrett, who defeated Mabel. The match after that was Bret Hart, who defeated Owen Hart in a steel cage match for the WWF World Heavyweight title. And then the seventh and final match was The Undertaker, who defeated the fake Undertaker.
Yes. So I've watched this one a few times. Pretty much it was The Undertaker going up against Ted DiBiase's Undertaker. There was a rivalry with him and Money Inc. I remember the Bret and Owen match for the cage match. Bret won. And after the match, Jim Neidhart attacked the British Bulldog. And pretty much Jim Neidhart joined Owen Hart in the force against Bret and his family. And Lex Luger had a rivalry going with Money Inc. That was when Tatanka turned on everybody, became a heel, and joined Money Incorporated. Ernar Scheisse, I was saying, is Bray Wyatt's father as well in real life. And the women's division wasn't really like strong during that time, but Alundra Blaze, who of course was Medusa, she got inducted into the Hall of Fame for Bo Nakata. And Bo Nakata is a very underrated Japanese wrestler from way back when. And, you know, Scott Hall versus Kevin Nash. There you go. So, you know, that's a good find by you, Alex, for sure. That's a great find, actually. If you haven't watched it before, it's an interesting one. You know, check it out. I've seen it a couple times, so great job.
All right, now let's get into NXT from this week, which was very, very interesting, and we saw that Karrion Kross relinquished the NXT championship, which I did not expect him to do that. Didn't think he would get injured. And injuries can be very costly to performers, and it's unknown how long he'll be out, but Kross will have to have surgery on his separated shoulder. And as I said earlier, I feel like he'll be out to 3 to 4 or 5 to 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. I like the route they're going, though, with the Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match with Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Finn Balor, and Adam Cole. The interesting thing is, okay, Johnny Gargano's a heel. Tommaso Ciampa clearly turned heel on NXT this week, which I thought was the right decision. I don't know what Adam Cole is, if he's a face or he's a heel. I don't know right now. I'd imagine he's still heel. And Finn Balor's nothing. He is just Finn Balor. There's no face or heel with him. I don't know what the name of that is called. But
I do know in a 60-minute Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match, the rules of this match are you have to score as many pinfalls within the time limit of the match. And this match is basically an hour, so whoever gets the most pinfalls becomes the new champion.
Essentially the same rules as a regular Iron Man match. And if you've never seen an Iron Man match, go watch Shawn Michaels vs. Bret Hart at WrestleMania. Go watch Stone Cold versus I don't know if he's fought The Rock. I'm sure they've had it before. It's essentially the same rules. You got to get as many pinfalls as you can in the 60-minute time limit. But now there's 4 of them. Usually it's one-on-one. This is a 4-way. So I don't think you could have asked for 4 better guys to be in the match. I think the 4 guys were the right call. I had no problem with it. I think it's a good move by NXT to try to jump on this quickly and fix the situation that was not expected. When I heard he hurt his shoulder cross, I had a feeling he was going to have to drop the title. There was, you know, I wanted to be positive about it, but in the back of my mind, I had a feeling he was going to drop it. I think it was almost, as they say, inevitable, because, you know, when it comes to getting guys cleared and stuff like that, WWE is usually on top of things. I think it would have been very tough for him to fight with a separated shoulder, clearly, to be the heavyweight champion of NXT. So, you know, that was interesting. I thought Breezango winning the tag belt.
Yeah, that was big. I didn't see it coming. I did not see Tyler Breeze or Fandango winning the championship there. But it was pretty cool. It was a really cool moment to see them finally be able to capitalize on Marcel Barthel and Fabian Aichner Imperium.
Yeah, I mean, Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel. Look, I thought they could have had the belts a little longer, but I'm happy for Tyler Breeze and Fandango. I'm very happy for them. I think it's been a long time coming, as they say, for them. And for them to finally get it is awesome. Let them have their moment. They're getting it. They've earned it. So that was cool. Clearly, it kind of looks like... I don't know where Io Shirai is going with the belt. I mean, Raquel Gonzalez did pin Rhea Ripley in the tag team match between Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. So we'll see. I mean, Mercedes Martinez interfered, so clearly she still has a rivalry with Rhea Ripley, so we shall see about that. I thought NXT had a pretty good episode. I think the groundbreaking news was the 60-minute Iron Man match. We saw Tommaso Ciampa come back and turn heel,
which was really cool to see, and I loved how aggressive Ciampa was before and after the match. And he put, I forget who he was facing that night, but he whiplashed him underneath the ring against the steel.
Yeah, I mean, look, could it be too many heels right now in NXT? Possibly. There could be too many heels right now and they need more faces. It's kind of like with AEW. Could AEW have too many faces and not enough heels? It's kind of the same situation and scenario that they're in, but it's in opposite directions, whereas one has too many faces, one has too many heels. So we'll see about that. All right, Alex, you want to move on with Dynamite right now? Because there's a lot to digest with Dynamite, for sure.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot to digest with that. And Dynamite was a really good show. I enjoyed that. The ending to Dynamite was insane. I did not expect Brody Lee to win. The way he won the championship was insane to me, and just how he kept pressing Cody in that matchup. And Cody did not have any time to catch his breath or really turn the matchup around. It was just insane how he became the new TNT champion.
Yeah, I thought the celebration this week was really good. I thought the celebration actually was good. It set up the match for All Out, where you're gonna have Stu Grayson, Evil Uno, and two guys from the Dark Order going up against. Basically, what they're doing is all of Brody's friends, with Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, Matt Cardona and Scorpio Sky. All of Cody's buddies and brothers and friends are going to defend his honor against the Dark Order. I thought it was a good idea that they did that. Also, you saw Hangman Adam Page is officially kicked out of the Elite.
Yeah, that's insane. We might actually be going to a Four Horsemen thing, possibly.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious personally. I'm so sick of guessing at this point because every time I guess my head's gonna explode. and now it wouldn't even shock me if Kenny turned on Hangman and sided with the Young Bucks. That wouldn't surprise me. But you clearly saw the situation in the tag team gauntlet match with Hangman. I mean, maybe Hangman didn't want to face the Young Bucks again. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But I thought what was interesting about the whole situation is you look back on it and you say to yourself, gosh, is AEW making this too obvious? But the thing is, we think so. So like you just said, Alex, right? You think Hangman's going to be the leader of the Four Horsemen. And then I counteract that with, okay, well, what if Kenny Omega's the leader of the Four Horsemen and swerves everybody? We don't know.
No, we don't know. If anything, Cody could come back from this injury next week or a week after at a All Out, and he could attack Brody Lee, and we could see a Four Horsemen come out with alongside.
It's definitely going to happen All Out, I think.
Yeah, I could see it happening at All Out, where in that sort of situation.
It has to happen All Out. I could see FTR winning the belts, and I could see Matt and Nick maybe, I don't know, causing Hangman to lose the match for him and Kenny. I 100%, I get what you're saying, Alex, but I think they have to do it at All Out.
They definitely do.
I think it needs to be done at All Out. I think if it's not, it's going to be a big disappointment.
Yeah.
It's such a big pay-per-view for them.
It's a really big pay-per-view, and you have to make your mark with this pay-per-view, and the best way to do that would be unveiling the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think their biggest pay-per-view was Double or Nothing because that was their big pay-per-view. But All Out is a close second, but I think Double or Nothing is their big show. But, again, at the same time, we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, I'm so tired of guessing about what's going to happen that I'm at the point of just okay, you know what? I'm just going to let it unfold, see what happens, and let's see where it's at. So we got that. MJF had the contract signing with Jon Moxley. That was fun. Now Moxley's going to face MJF's lawyer on Wednesday. And the lawyer was like, "What the heck is going on here?" Dude, even I read all my documents. Yeah, I guess this guy must have not read his documents. I don't know. But it was just, it's going to be funny. I seriously think they need to make MJF win the belt. They have to. They have to. And both guys are undefeated going into this. I think it's time for MJF to get this and be the face of what he says he's going to be for AEW.
Yeah, and MJF has a chance to do that with the paradigm shift being banned. So there's a possibility he might come out and win this match over Jon Moxley.
I mean, I could see like a referee getting knocked out and Moxley sneaks in the paradigm shift. Like he might sneak it in. You can always, but I mean, we'll see. We have a few more minutes on AEW, then we're going to move on to New Japan Summer Struggle. Really quick. Now, I hate the name of this match. The Mimosa, whatever it is, the Mimosa match.
Mimosa Mayhem match, yeah.
I hate that name. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. I love the rivalry that Cassidy and Jericho are having, but to have that name is, I think, so stupid.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they should have just left it as a normal matchup with no title.
No, you can have the match. You can have the match. Just come up with a better name for it.
Yeah, just come up with a better name it's not gonna be so like just not interesting at all. That's not really gonna catch attention.
Now the one match I'm so excited for, ecstatic about, I cannot wait, is Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa. And Alex, I don't know if you watched NWA.
I've heard a lot about Thunder Rosa and what she's able to do in a ring. I've seen small clips of what she can do. I think this is going to be a great match by far.
Now, you heard me earlier in the show. I even incorporated her as one of the top 5 women wrestlers in the world. I said her name when I was saying Asuka, Bayley, Thunder Rosa, Io Shirai. This match, in my opinion, could be a show stealer. And if you have not seen Thunder Rosa, her work in NWA was fantastic. She is a great character with the face paint. She's got charisma up the wazoo. And I think Billy Corgan making the right decision of clearly getting NWA guys involved with AEW. Now, it's a great working relationship. The only problem is he's lost Ricky Starks due to that problem. And he lost, what's his name? He just joined the group with Butcher Blade.
I'm trying to remember his name too.
Hold on a second. Give me a second. I'm going to get it. Hold on. I'm going to get it. Keep talk, Alex. I'm going to get it in a second.
Yeah. So, as you were saying, I feel like you were talking about this guy from NWA, and I feel like this match with Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida, it's going to be something definitely to watch. It's going to be one of those matches where it's going to be catch everybody's eye and really keep them glued to their screen.
I think that's a chance to be the best match on the card. And it's Eddie Kingston, by the way. So it's fun that NWA is having their relationship. The problem is they've lost Eddie Kingston and Ricky Starks already to AEW. So you can have the working relationship. But if you're going to unless there's a contract where those guys can also show up on NWA TV, that's totally fine as well. But first off, this women's match is going to be the best women's match they've ever played.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be something to really pay attention to and watch. It's going to be probably one of the best matches on All Out.
Oh, I think it's going to be the card stealer with Shida and Thunder Rosa. So I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be interesting. We're going to preview All Out next week for sure because they're still getting the card settled and stuff like that. But we're definitely going to preview it next week. But let's get to our next topic, Alex. The big show that happened this morning. Now, this is the time for you fans. If you want to, you can turn us off now. It's okay. I know we understand. We don't want to spoil anything for you. It's just Alex and I are nuts, and we get up at 4 in the morning to watch these shows. So if you want to turn us off now, you totally can, so we don't spoil anything for you. But what a good show!
Oh, yeah.
It was a good show. Wasn't a great show.
It was maybe a okay good show.
Yeah, I enjoyed Summer Struggle very much. I would give it an 8 out of 10, 8.5.
And what was interesting about this one is they had Chris Carlton and Kevin Kelly doing commentary, but they were doing it from different places. So yeah. Kevin Kelly was in the U.S. and Chris Charlton was in Japan.
Yeah, so if you didn't notice that, yes, they did have that. It had been a while where usually the English commentary comes about a day or two after they do their shows, or if you've watched the USA shows on Friday nights, that's when Kevin Kelly and Chris Carlton does it. So there's Gino Gambino will do it too. But I enjoyed the show. I thought it was good. Like I said, a lot of title changes.
Oh yeah, a lot of title changes. We had Minoru Suzuki defeated Shingo Takagi for the Never Openweight Championship. That match was incredible. It was a lot of blow by blow. They took the match to the outside past the guardrail, which apparently you're not allowed to do, but they did it anyway for
New Japan.
Social distancing.
Yeah.
And the match was Suzuki threw some really hard shots, and Takagi was able to come back and drop Suzuki a couple times in that matchup. And then there was the sleeper. He kept applying the sleeper on Shingo, which ultimately caused Suzuki to win the match.
Yeah, for sure. Look, in my personal opinion, when you see it, I had no problem with the title changes or anything like that. That's totally fine by New Japan to do that. I just want to see something quick. Now, the tag team match was good too. They kept their belts. Taichi and Zack Sabre, pretty much still keeping the championships over the Golden Aces of Tanahashi and Ibushi. But I thought the best match of the night was Taiji Ishimori versus Hiromu Takahashi.
Yeah, that was a really insane matchup. I didn't think Hiromu was going to lose the title. I really did not think that he was going to I just based on the performance he had against Taiji Ishimori, it just seemed impossible for him to lose.
Yeah, for sure. Look, like I said, I think it is interesting. A listener, Brett Goldstein, said, "Hi, Roman Reigns still sucks." Oh boy, that's good. So, you're not kind of wrong, but let's see what he is as a heel. But I thought Ishimori versus Takahashi was the best match of the night. You had Naito winning back both championships over Evil. I thought that was perfect. I thought it was good. Now you can continue with the rivalry. I like that LIJ with Bushi and Sanada finally coming out to help Naito. I think I said to you a week or two, Alex, I said LIJ sucks because they don't ever come out and help this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They finally did, and it worked to their favor. There was so many guys that, with Gato coming out and Dick Togo being there and all these guys, doing what they were doing, it was just so much that finally Bushi and Sanada had enough. And then, of course, you had the King of Pro Wrestling, Toru Yano, rolling up Kazuchika Okada. Now, the thing about this is the King of Pro Wrestling, they can fight anytime they want,
Mm-hmm. And what's funny is both of them are in Chaos.
Yeah, and the thing is, with King of Pro Wrestling, Alex, they can fight anytime they want in the next year, but the matches have to have stipulations on the matches. And if you're going to let Toru Yano be in these matches with stipulations, sign me up. Because Toru Yano in these matches that will have stipulations will be comedy.
Oh, yeah. He's so entertaining. He's very funny. Great to watch.
Yeah, and to have him pin Okada the way he did was interesting. Fine, I'm fine by it. I thought the match was pretty good, but like I said, I thought Taiji Ishimori, Hiromu Takahashi match was the best match. I thought the Junior Heavyweight Championship match was the best. I liked the main event. I thought it was entertaining. Takahashi Suzuki was pretty good. There's not much flashiness. From Minoru. You know how he is. He's just a rough and tough fighter. So that's what he is. But I thought the show was pretty good. I thought the outside effects was really cool with it being outdoors. You got to see the sun go down at the show. I thought that was a nice little effect that they had. Clearly, Master Watu lost again, which it continues the rivalry, but he's constantly losing. But like I said, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't their best show. But I thought it was a good show, and it keeps the rivalry of Naito and Evil going. With clearly LIJ and Bullet Club are going to have this rivalry go the distance. The guy that I'm wondering about is Okada. Where does he fit in the middle of all this? Do they finally break up Ibushi and Tanahashi with the Golden Ace? I like the Golden Ace as a tag team, and the thing is, New Japan could really use tag teams right now because they don't have many.
No, they really don't have many. And I saw this a couple weeks ago when I was watching New Japan, and they kept hinting at Kota Ibushi turning on Tanahashi. They kept hinting that a lot in different shows.
Yeah, because it's I know Suzuki-gun has been trying to get him to join their group, but I'm fine with Kota not being in a group. I'm fine with Hiroshi Tanahashi not being in a group. There are certain guys you don't need to have in a faction.
No.
AEW does the same thing. They do it the way New Japan does it, whereas there's a billion different factions. It's just how they do it, and that's just the way they're ran. But I thought it was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. I know you did too, Alex, so we'll see going forward and everything like that. All right. Like I said, because we did start late today, so we are going to go over our time by a little bit. It's okay. So I guess, Alex, I think we did that pretty good. We did a lot. Now, let's get to our finisher now.
So my finishing move is I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm blanking out now. I'm trying to remember. Now I remember. It was there's a new wrestling game coming out in the next couple years that I saw that's being made. Yeah, it's not like it's not going to be a WWE 2K game. It's just going to be a regular wrestling game, and it's going to include the AEW wrestlers, and it's going to include some indie wrestlers as well.
Oh, so they're pretty much going to do like it's an AEW video game.
Yeah, they're going to do something like that. It's just not going to be made by 2K or any of those companies.
Well, that's good because the 2K20 sucks.
Yeah, it does. 2K20 was terrible. It had a lot of bugs, glitches, bad effects, bad lighting.
Buy it?
No, I didn't buy it.
I didn't buy it either, and it was on sale for like $10 on the PlayStation Store, and I still didn't buy it. I have 2K19 now. 2K19 was pretty good, but I heard 2K20 was garbage. And now they're not even doing a 2K this year. They're doing that arcade style game.
Yeah, it's Battlegrounds or something.
Yeah, something like that. But excuse me, I'm hoping that I know New Japan has a video game too, but it's like an arcade style video game where it looks very old fashioned. So that'd be kind of cool if they did an AEW video game. I'm kind of curious. Just don't go the WCW Mayhem route.
No.
Don't do that. I had WCW. It was trash. Don't do that. Don't go that route. But we'll see. Look, it'll be interesting to see if they're not going with 2. I would imagine they're not going to go with 2K because 2K has a partnership with WWE. So we'll see. My finishing move, Alex, is pretty much boy oh boy. It has really not much to do with wrestling, but it's all about with civil rights movement and stuff, man, and everything that's going on. I know. Listen, we're not here to talk politics. We're not here on the show. We talk wrestling, but it just has to be said where this country has to get their act together, and we need to find common ground. and with the Jacob Blake stuff now happening, and you're seeing it on sports where people are using their platform. I'm sure, obviously, Alex, your dad knows all about this. Your dad's the radio announcer for the Washington Nationals, so your dad's in the epicenter of the sports world, where people are protesting games and they're not playing the games. And again, if you haven't seen it, I'm a Met fan. Whether you're a fan or not, go watch with Dominic Smith's post game, how he feels about being a black man in this country. It's rough, but you see it too, like on Cedric Alexander wears the BLM armband. You saw Keith Lee a couple, at Takeover in Your House with the Black Lives Matter trunks. We have to find common ground. And I called up Errol and Speedy's show on Thursday, Below the Mic. I called up their show, and Errol, Speedy, and I had about a 15-minute conversation about this whole thing. And we just, as a country, need to find common ground here and get it together. And we need to understand that no matter what race you are, what color skin you are, no matter what whether you're marrying same-sex marriage, who cares? Doesn't matter. It's freedom of speech, freedom of choice. You can do whatever you want, and we need to. In the country, it's a mess right now. We got to figure this out, and it's really unfortunate. And look, hopefully things get fixed. That's that for my fishing move for wrestling. Look, we have a lot of good wrestling coming up, man.
Oh yeah, a lot of pay-per-views coming up. Payback
tomorrow, which is so ridiculous.
Yeah, All Out.
All Out is next week. So, Alex and I, we are going to preview All Out next Saturday. We're going to recap Payback. So we'll see going forward. Like I said, thank you for staying with us. I know we were on a little bit late today. We apologize. For some reason, also, when I logged in, nobody could hear me, which I guess sometimes is a good thing. So, I guess that's a good thing when you can't hear me. I mean, I guess that's good. But, listen, man. Alex, we did another great show, dude. It was phenomenal.
It definitely was. I look forward to doing it again, same time, same place next week.
Let's try. We'll try to start 12 o'clock. 5. But look, like I said, there was just, if you haven't watched New Japan Summer Struggle, go back and watch it. Payback is tomorrow. Like I said, please don't forget NXT is on Tuesday this week because the NHL playoffs are on Wednesday. AEW Dynamite is back for Wednesday nights. So just definitely, like I said, a lot to tune into. Alex, I don't want to say what your new job is, but Alex Lowe's, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a congratulations to him. He has a new job, so congratulations to Alex.
Thank you.
For getting his job, for sure. So that's phenomenal. So congratulations to you, buddy. I hope it works out for you and everything like that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And like I said, all you out there, please stay safe, stay healthy. Listen, COVID-19 is still a thing. All right, wear your damn mask.
And wash your hands.
Wash your hands, wear your damn mask, and get it, okay? For the love of God, can we get past this already? Please. I want to go back to wrestling shows. Please. I know you do too, Alex.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah. So, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Again, one last thing before we go. Congratulations to Stevie Cohen buying the New York Mets. Thank you for the love of God for bringing him to us. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. We have a new ownership for the New York Mets and a guy that can spend money. So I can't wait. Uncle Stevie is here. Yes, I'm using this platform for sports, Alex, not just wrestling today. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, take care. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Enjoy wrestling. Enjoy NXT. Enjoy AEW Dynamite. Enjoy Raw, SmackDown. Enjoy Summer Struggle if you haven't watched it yet. And we're going to preview All Out and recap. Enjoy Payback tomorrow. All right? Listen live here to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Don't forget to check us out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, our app. Type in WWSRN on the Apple Store, Google Play. Also, worldwidesportsradio.com. You can check out all the different shows and articles and everything we have on there. So take care. Have a good rest of your week, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to us. You're listening and watching the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.